Hello, and welcome to Zen Talks, where we trade the day's hustle for a brief moment of reflection. Join us as we explore meaningful thoughts, unwind, and connect in a peaceful environment. Tune in for a brief escape from the chaos of the world and discover a sense of calm and clarity with each episode. Let's step back, breathe, and find our inner peace together on Zen Talks. Hello, and welcome to Zen Talks, where we trade the day's hustle for a brief moment of reflection. Let's slow down, take a deep breath, and explore the depths of personal growth and well-being. I'm your host, Zen. Remember, this month, as a part of Self-Awareness Month, we're breaking down and discussing different topics related to increasing our self-awareness. Tonight, we'll continue by talking about how self-awareness can improve our relationships. This evening, I'm trying a new tea for relaxation. It's an herbal tea with a relaxing blend of rose and mint, and it smells as delightful as it sounds. But hey, if you need something a little stronger, remember, I won't judge. So grab your drink of choice and let's get into it. Relationships, whether they are partners, family, friends, or coworkers, are a big part of our lives, and sometimes they can get messy. Misunderstandings, miscommunication, emotional outbursts, these things happen, and often they happen because we aren't fully aware of what's going on within us. That's where self-awareness comes in. The more you know yourself, your triggers, your emotions, your tendencies, the better you can show up in your relationships. So let's break this down and talk about how becoming more self-aware can lead to healthier, stronger connections with the people around us. I'm going to give you 5 tips to help you with that process. Let's start with the most obvious, emotions. Whether we like it or not, our emotions have a huge impact on how we interact with others. If you're stressed, angry, or frustrated, it can easily spill over into your conversations and relationships. But when you're aware of your emotional state, you can manage it before it affects the people around you. Think about the last time you snapped at someone or gave someone the cold shoulder. Chances are it really wasn't about that person. It was about something going on inside of you. Self-awareness helps you recognize this, causing you to say to yourself, okay, I'm feeling stressed about work, and that's why I'm reacting this way. So you can pause and choose how to respond instead of letting your emotions run the show. So tip number 1, when you feel those emotions bubbling up, take a moment to ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? It helps you take responsibility for your feelings instead of projecting them onto others. Have you ever walked away from a conversation and thought, I wish I hadn't said that or I didn't handle that well? I know I have. Communication can break down when we're not fully aware of what we're bringing into the conversation, whether it's assumptions, frustrations, or past baggage. Self-awareness helps us reflect on how we communicate. Are we being clear, or are we expecting people to read our minds? Are we really listening, or are we just waiting to speak? When you're aware of your communication habits, you start making small shifts that lead to better, more meaningful conversations. That brings tip number 2. After a conversation, reflect on how it went. Ask yourself, did I listen? Was I clear? Did my emotions cloud the conversation? Self-reflection is a powerful tool for improving communication. Now let's talk about conflict, because let's be real, it happens in every relationship. One of the biggest ways self-awareness can help is by recognizing your triggers. We all have them, those things that set us off or make us react more emotionally than we like. When you know what your triggers are, you can manage your reaction better when conflict arises. For example, if you know you get defensive when someone critiques your work, you can take a deep breath when it happens and remind yourself not to take it personally. It helps you to stay calm and approach conflict more rationally, which is key to resolving it in a healthy way. This brings us to tip 3, which is make a mental note of your biggest triggers. When you're in the heat of the conflict, remind yourself of them so that you can consciously choose how to respond instead of reacting out of habit. Now let's talk about cultivating empathy through self-awareness. Empathy is one of the most important ingredients in any healthy relationship. Self-awareness and empathy go hand in hand. The better you understand your own feelings, the easier it becomes to understand the feelings of others. When you're aware of your emotional patterns, you can relate to what others might be going through. You've been there, you felt hurt, frustrated, or misunderstood. This allows you to approach others with more kindness and patience because you know how it feels to be in their shoes. Tip number 4. The next time you interact with someone upset, pause and think, how would I feel in their situation? That moment of reflection can shift your perspective and help you approach them with empathy. That brings us to this next point, taking ownership of your actions. Self-awareness isn't just about recognizing emotions. It's also about taking responsibility for how you act on them. We've all had those moments where we say or do something in the heat of the moment that we later regret. Self-awareness helps us catch those behaviors in real time so we can take ownership and make amends when necessary. By becoming more self-aware, you learn to take responsibility for your actions. Instead of blaming someone else for how you reacted, you can acknowledge your part in the situation and work on doing better next time. This level of honesty and accountability strengthens trust in relationships because it shows you're willing to grow. Which leads us to our final tip of the evening. Tip number 5. Practice saying, I'm sorry. That wasn't fair of me. When you realize you've let your emotions get the best of you, owning your actions goes a long way in building trust and respect. So our takeaway, self-awareness is key to improving your relationships. By understanding your emotions, improving your communication, managing your triggers, cultivating empathy, and taking ownership of your actions, you can create stronger, healthier connections with the people around you. Building self-awareness isn't something that happens overnight, but with small steps and consistent practice, you'll start noticing a shift in how you show up in your relationships and how others respond to you. Looking ahead to our next episode, if you've ever struggled with having tough talks, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or a coworker, you won't want to miss this one. We're talking about how to handle difficult conversations with grace and emotional intelligence. Well, that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me on Zen Talks. Don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with someone who might need to hear it. After all, it's your support that helps us grow and reach more listeners. If you want to know more about me, Zen, you can follow me on Facebook at Zenja Bloomfield and Instagram at I am Zenja. And by the way, stop by SisterPamelaPublishing.com and purchase my latest book, Becoming the Kyle Woman, and other great titles. Again, that's SisterPamelaPublishing.com, SisterPamelaPublishing.com. Until next time, keep sipping your favorite drink, stay grounded, stay peaceful, and stay zen.